Welcome to Cooksey and the Coach. And I've got the former RCH team manager, Planet Honda team manager, and the mechanic for Brian Deegan when he won his one and only Supercross and launched his bike. If you guys look closely, you'll see Kenny just about get killed by the bike. It's Kenny fucking Watson. What's up, Kenny?
Nothing much, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Just watched that crazy race. There's plenty to talk about, yeah?
Yeah, well, you might have to edit the beginning of it because you said Planet Honda. It was Plano Honda, two different teams.
Well, neither of them exist anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and just say Plano. And Planet, Plano, it doesn't matter anymore.
Well, it matters to me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
A much better team.
I don't want to edit it, but I will correct right now. You were the Plano.
I was just giving you a hard time.
I know. Okay, well, Planet Fitness. There we go.
So, yeah, there you go. I manage the Planet Fitness team. Just look at me.
I manage Planet Fitness, the snack bar. So, dude, there's so much to talk about, but I sent you the list of some stuff, and I just want to talk about first. One of the most amazing rides I've seen in a long time was Jett Lawrence in that heat race. When he went down, my first thought was, oh my God, that was gnarly. That was a bad crash. Can he continue? Then he can continue. I'm like, well, he can get up to 9th or 8th. Dude won the heat.
Yeah, and dude, I was watching him go through those corners. I mean, he's it, man. You can't say much more about the kid, you know.
He reminded me of Bradshaw in Tampa. Remember in the sand when he kept crashing and passing?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he only had one crash, but dude, it was the first turn. He was so far behind. I was like, you could give it up that, you know, there wasn't the best guys in that heat race. The only guy that was in there was Brown. I don't care. I really don't care.
No, I'm not taking anything away from him. He did the job, man. He hauled ass, and I thought in the main event he rode really smart. He wasn't really comfortable at the beginning, and he really wasn't sure about lines. And McAdoo passed him, and he started using McAdoo's lines, and they just checked out on the guy on his own lines.
Oh, that was good.
It was really good. I was pumped on it.
Well, let's go back to that start. So I have a theory on 2-row starts. I 100% believe it's time to change, instead of having 20 riders line up side by side and go in 10
arena cross style.
100%. Yes. So that way times qualifying matters. Qualifying matters because you're going to want to be on that front row. It adds an extra level of, there's a battle for first, there's a battle for fourth, and there's a battle for the transfer. It adds that much more excitement. And then what does everybody say at the first of the race when Vince Friese gets in second and the leader checks out? We go, oh my gosh, why did that happen? Blah, 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 blah. Everyone bitches and moans about, a couple of guys spreading the pack out. Well, if you have a 2-row start, all the fast guys are going to be up front each race. So we get to find out who's the best.
You know what? That you're right. And you make a lot of sense, but just because you make sense doesn't mean that it would happen.
No, I agree. Well, there's a new series that's the FIM World Series, and I don't like to promote the FIM because I think they're clowns, but that promotional group that has that World Supercross Series, they're going to do some stuff differently.
Have you heard anything more about it?
Just what they released, which is the 50 million and teams, but that's already 50 million more than the other promoters have given the teams.
Yeah.
So literally,
that's hard for me to believe. I like to see when they're going to do profit sharing.
I heard they have Saudi money.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. And to bid on it with FIM, I'm sure the FIM checked their finances, and I'm pretty sure it's legit. I don't see them. I don't see the FIM giving a bid to somebody who couldn't verify finances, because there was multiple bidders on that. So I'm going to go ahead and say it's probably accurate information. And the other thing is, then you prevent crashes like what happened to Jett. Listen, I like Hardy Munoz.
If you watch that guy that hit him, he picked up his foot about 3 feet over the peg and just jammed on his rear brake. His front wheel was his rear brake was on the whole time.
Yeah. But still, I mean, he misjudged it. And you get guys in different speeds. Jett can go that fast and jam the brakes and make it. That guy's going that fast and they hit the brakes and and he's a torpedo. And I'm not downplaying Hardy Munoz. He's a bad dude, made the main event. But I don't want to see a generational talent creamed by Hardy Munoz.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's probably not the first time it happened, and it's probably not going to be the last. So,
well, it would be if you did. Well, you're still going to have a first round pile up, even with the 2-row start. But we got to get
you're
you.
You're always going to have issues there, dude.
Yeah, we got to get you
a second row start. The guy in the second row start could just pin it right into them all.
Listen, there's always, dude, an asteroid could hit Earth right now and blow us all up. Shit happens. But we take, we wear seatbelts. We do. Whoa, you're killing me. You're give me seasickness here, Kenny.
Sorry.
Yeah. Where was that? But no, shit happens, and there's always something that could happen. But yeah. And then what about Pierce Brown? That was dirty when he hit the ground. Ouch.
Kudos to him for getting up, man.
Yeah.
He power drived himself pretty good. And I think if he didn't get his arms out, he would have been KO'd. But if you watch, he had both of his arms out. It took some of the shock away.
Yeah.
He didn't have he didn't have his wrist out. He landed more on his forearms.
Yeah. And I'm not listen, I'm totally fine if he can tough it out as long as he doesn't have a concussion. That's the only issue. Like I'm okay riding with a broken hand, broken leg, but when you have a concussion, for me, that's where I draw the line. And I'm not real confident on their concussion protocol. It sounds like they just put a finger in front of their face, 2 or 1. Okay, he's good, But if he didn't have a concussion, what a badass. I mean, every part of his body must hurt, dude. So
yeah. That was crazy, man. I'm glad none of those guys got hurt for that bad of a crash,
Yeah.
It just shows you how tough those guys are and how gnarly this sport really is, man.
It is so gnarly. Think of another sport. Well, like I watch a lot of UFC, and those dudes are tough, but they're going to get knocked out, choked out, their arm broke. You're messing with some different type of stuff when you're talking about
you're not going to die or end up in a wheelchair, one or the other.
Yeah. And think about it. How many people do we know? How many friends do we have that have wound up in wheelchairs? It's not a joke. And I crack up when those people, somebody who's been around the sport for a year talks about how, oh yeah, you're just going to pussify the sport. No, man, you don't understand. There's no possible way to pussify this sport. You're racing a dirt bike across jumps and flying through the air just because you have.
Yeah, it's crazy. The risk for reward is so not there.
Well, and that's why I'm just hoping this World Supercross does it, a little bit better. And what do you think of, okay, so last week it was just mayhem. Anderson, Sexton, Webb, Ferrandis, they all torpedoed themselves. I mean, it was bad. There's no chance on earth you can tell me Sexton wasn't KO'd when he hit his face into that jump. And that's the second one in a month. Yet, no problem. He's just right back out there. And that's just acceptable.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, I wasn't there. I don't know, but I truly believed, he had to hit his head. He had to be dingy. I mean, but he passed the test, I guess, whatever the test is, and I don't know. I mean, I don't agree with it, but what are you going to do? You're going to hold him out if he passes and he says he's good to go? I mean, it's his body.
It's true. But I mean, look at all dude, I listened to Whiskey Throttle with Denny Stevenson last week, talking about how many concussions he's had and the issues it's caused and the seizure. And it's just not a joke, man. It's just not. And
yeah, I was there when he had a seizure in Minneapolis. That was fucking scary as shit.
Yeah. People just blow it off. And I'm like, okay. And Webb, I don't know how his head was. He's got a cracked hand. I'm okay with toughing through injuries like that, but when you mess with your head, Anderson, I don't know if he's in a battle. So I'm okay with him getting back out there if he passes, but I'm real suspect on their concussion protocol. I've heard what they do. I've talked to some people. You remember Eddie Casillas?
Very well.
Dude, I love that guy. He got kicked off of that medical crew for calling out concussions and holding out a rider. He wouldn't let Benny Bloss race because Benny Bloss didn't pass with a neurological doctor. And my buddy Forrest Butler freaked out and got him kicked off the I don't know if it was kicked off or forced to resign, but it was some bullshit, man.
So Eddie's not working there no more?
No, that was Forrest Butler. Forrest pretty much freaked out, forced him off. The teams flexed on the rig and said, "You can't have our guys not racing. What the hell?" And yeah, so yeah, so they got rid of a good doctor instead of, you know. So when they say they have the power to sit these guys down, I highly question that.
Wow. Okay, I never knew that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Stank Dog, dude, he's getting close. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he fell in the LCQ. If he didn't fall, he would have been in there.
Yeah, he was only a couple positions out in the heat race. I think he was one or two.
I mean, what it looked like to me is the starts just killed him.
Yeah, dude, he's on a 250. What? I don't know what else there is.
I think everything else could have been fine, just the way how ready the track was and all that. But the starts killed him.
Yeah, if I'm Stank though, I stay on the 250. He already did the 125. He should be the last guy to put it in a 250 and a 125 because he's going to make it if he keeps racing.
Yeah.
But next week they go back west. I'm going to hit him up and tell him I think he should ride the 250. So
yeah, he should ride the 125 in Seattle.
No, I don't think so. And then we had a couple guys fight on the track. First time we've seen that in years, dude.
They what?
We had a couple guys fight on the track. Do you see that?
That wasn't a fight.
That was a motocross fight, Kenny. That was not a fight. It was a motocross fight. And it cracks me up. It was funny though. I mean, Alex Ray.
I see my daughter in third grade fight. Their fights on the playground are better than that one.
Yeah. So hey, if you want, you can just kill the video. It's swerving all over, and I'll just throw a pickup of you if you want. So no worries. Yeah. So, and I crack up. I've actually been in a couple of fights with my helmet on, and
so have I. You just grab the other guy's helmet and fucking you
judo toss. Judo toss, man. A guy by the name of Craig Mason. He used to own fat, or I don't know if he
I know Craig Mason. I know Craig Mason very well. He still does.
I fought Craig Mason at a supermoto race. Yeah.
Oh, really? He's
actually pretty tough, dude. He rammed me, and then I kicked him in the chest and kind of put him down, and then he gets up, and I'm trying to get our bikes apart. He grabs both hands on the front of my face mask and judo throws me. Dude, it hurt my neck so bad. I was like, but I remembered it. I was like, I'm going to do that again. And if I ever fight, I'm doing that. So,
yeah.
Actually, you know what, Kenny? I'll put a picture up, but it's actually easier to talk to you when it's swerving all over. So sorry about it. I'm being kind of a bitch about it. That's just me.
Do you want me to put it back up?
Yeah, put it back up. So, and then my buddy Logan Carno, dude, how cool was that? So Logan, he had a sponsor back out. So he's been scrambling, trying to figure out how to get to the races. He's in a budget rental van. He got a one race deal with Hannah Ray. She's a OnlyFans star, better known as porn star. But dude, I love it. Hey, her check's cash, unlike maybe his other sponsor.
Hey, wherever, take the money wherever it's coming from. If it's going to get you to the race.
Yeah, and I want to advise everybody that's over 18 that's watching our show or listening to the show, give Hannah_Ray a follow on Instagram. Let her know that you appreciate her helping out the sport of motocross. There's enough OnlyFans chicks. If they could spread some money around our sport, let's take it. I'm all for it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Barsha move. Before we get too far into the, we'll go down the race. Yeah, well, we might as well just hit that first. Yeah.
I mean, he threw his hands up. What do you think was going to happen?
When Barcia acted like it was an accident.
I don't know. You see him throw his hands up. I was like to myself, you go into that corner like that, what do you think is going to happen?
I know, dude, if that wasn't a kill shot, I don't know what is. Like,
yeah,
Barsha knows it, but it was one of those ones where if he watches the video back, he'll go like, "Oh yeah,
I'll give it to Barsha. He rode really well tonight.
He did. He
rode good. He had a couple bonehead moves throughout the race, but he rode solid. You know, he did.
What if they take this position from him and move him back a couple? Because they said he's under review. I hate that.
Under review?
Yeah, under review is what it was for that pass.
He's on probation, you mean?
He's already on probation. He's on probation from Anaheim.
Well,
and that move was under review.
The old people, I would say nothing's going to happen. they would have announced it by now. You
Yeah,
know,
it's
say unofficial results.
yeah, it's J-Bone's decision. And I personally, while it was incredibly dirty, that's fine. Anderson rides that way too. Now he's got payback coming. You settle that one on the track. One guy crashed. I didn't like it. It was a little early in the race to go for a move like that. It wasn't an LCQ, but I'm okay with that move. Hey, he's the one that's got to live with it, and he's got to he's got to watch his inside lines every time he hears the 21. So,
he rode good in that heat race, huh?
21 is Jason Anderson was flat flying, and I really thought he was going to win this race. Gosh, is anyone? I can't remember a season where a guy has been this good and not even been close in the points.
Yeah.
I mean, this dude should have a giant lead. If you take away, think about how many different races he's had issues. Started at the first one when Barcia took him out at Anaheim. Then he has the bike issue at San Diego with the radiator cap. Then, there's multiple, like him and Sexton, but some of it's his doing, some of it wasn't his doing. But yeah, it was kind of funny. And I figured something was up after Barcia. And I loved his interview when he said, I'm feeling froggy. Did you hear that?
Oh yeah. After the heat race.
Oh yeah. I like that kind of when the dudes let some personality go. I'm like, oh, well, he said he was feeling froggy. The other guy should have probably listened, but then again, where he hit Anderson, dude, nobody expected that. He was too far back. I even Anderson, who can protect really well, was probably like, dude.
Yeah, you're right. You're totally right. It was
I'm surprised they both,
but see what happens. And then I don't know what happened during that race when he jumped. Did he jump on who rolled? Mookie rolled. There was like yellows out. Someone crashed and Mookie rolled and Barcia doubled.
As long as it wasn't a red cross flag, nobody should matter.
Yeah, I don't know if it was out or it wasn't out, but I remember they were saying something about it, and I seen it happen, and I was like, because I was thinking, like, why would Mookie just roll it then?
Maybe he got cross-roaded in front of it, dude. That track was so gnarly. Yeah, that was so gnarly. And
I think it was worse than last weekend, to tell you the truth.
It was, and they did the same thing that I told you I don't like, is where Pierce ate it. Those whoops where you have to either go full send or nothing. Like, if you jump, you fall back, unless you're Marvin. Marvin's the only guy. Although in timed qualifying, Malcolm did something that was just flat amazing. He jumped in and jumped out in 2 jumps. Like, it was ridiculous. That's why I thought he was going to win tonight, but you got to
give it to Marvin. He started the race like that, and he stuck to his guns.
But he's so good at it. He can do it. Like, it's funny when you see the other guys try and do it, they look all squirrely. Yeah. So, but yeah. Let's see what about, so Sexton, and I think part of the reason Sexton's riding like he is because he's concussed, man. Those are just, it's rough. So then Cooper Webb hammered out a 4th. Dean Wilson looked pretty racy. Yeah.
What did he end up, 7th or 6th?
7th. He was ahead of Malcolm. Well, Malcolm had that nasty get off.
But dude, you got to give it to Malcolm. He hit the ground hard, and he got back up, and he still got 8th.
That's pretty impressive. I figured that was a DNF the way he hit.
That's pretty solid for him just to get up, and I know he's hurting. He's a big dude, and he hit the ground hard.
I'll say this about Malcolm, though. Big dude or not, that dude is put together like a brick shit house. He doesn't break when he falls. I don't want to jinx him, but that dude, he's taken some hits, and he's durable,
Yeah.
He's not fragile like some of the other guys. Vince Freezy, another top 10, got 9th. And then my boy Ryan Brees, how about that? He backs up in 11th with a 10th.
Oh, you got 10th this week, huh?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Getting right up there and battling. So, and then anything else you want to talk about in the 450s? Tomac, dude, he's so good. This is his year.
I was just gonna say that, dude. He's riding at another level, man. He's Dude, he looked so comfortable on that bike. Did you see the bike the one time in the whoops where it stepped out on him?
Yeah, didn't even look that squirrely though.
And it came right back, and he never even phased him. He looked so comfortable on that bike. He's just flowing with it.
He's flowing with it. He's happy. His general body language and everything is just, and it was funny too, because I think these are the types of tracks that gave him hell on the Kawasaki. And you could see that Kawasaki dancing in those whoops when Anderson was going in, out, trying to figure out where to go, where that Yamaha is a lot more forgiving. So,
yeah, it was crazy. After the race, when he came in and they pulled his helmet off, dude, he just went, wow. Like, dude, that was gnarly. Like, you know, and from his riding, he just looked like he was so smooth. But when he pulled his helmet off, he had to get props where he was just like, man, like it was rough out there.
So did you see the track was designed by one of the guys? So they had the video game, right? The Supercross video game. 3,000 people that build tracks on the video game. One of the tracks was chosen, and that guy was the designer of the track. What do you think of having a fan design the track?
I don't think it was that bad.
No, I was just thinking,
I think it's kind of cool. It's different.
Yeah,
let someone else try something. You know, we're doing the same thing forever. You know, mix it up. It couldn't be any worse.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it definitely couldn't be any worse. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, audio difficulties. So, yeah, I was fine with at first I was panicked. I'm like, what the hell is Phil doing letting a fan design the track? But then I saw the track and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I kind of like, it was weird how he did the whoops. In practice, they had it to where you skimmed in and there was a bigger one at first. And then I think some of the guys complained for the second time session, it looked a little smaller to where they could just jump and get up on top of them.
Yeah, I think he probably designed it and they showed Dirtworks guys or whoever's building the track, and they probably worked with him a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
this is doable. This isn't doable. But how do you feel about those big rhythm lanes they're having this year?
I like them, but they're scary and I don't have to ride them. So that's why I kind of like them. And I like that you can't get them every lap, which kind of makes for some good racing. But yeah, they're dangerous, but then again, they're the best riders in the world, right?
Yeah, for sure. I like them. I think it's cool.
Yeah, I do too. But at the same time, I'm always tentative when I see stuff like that. It's a fine line between badass and good racing, and putting them, because they're going to do whatever. Like, it doesn't matter what you put on the track. These guys are going to do amazing things on it. I just don't want to add to their already dangerous shit. So, 250s, dude. Jett. That's the first time though. McAdoo, what a boss, dude, to get out there and get out front. But I was listening to Ricky say I would stay behind him, and then he went right around him. And I think Ricky was right. I think if he just stayed behind him, Jett wouldn't have realized exactly. He might have stayed jumping those whoops instead of skimming them like Cameron was. And he might have been able to make the move with a couple to go. And I don't know that Jett could have adjusted at that point. What do you think?
Well, I thought he did follow him a little bit. You think he should have stayed behind him longer?
Yeah, he said Cameron should have stayed behind him until the last probably 2 or 3 minutes.
Huh. Yeah, well, he would know.
The goat knows?
Yeah, he would know. And if I was Jett, I would, you know, after I got around him, I mean, he started skimming him a few times, and he would just skim him sometimes and he would jump him sometimes. But I think towards the end, he was skimming every lap.
Well, I think
the last couple laps.
Well, as soon as he realized that Cameron was skimming him and that's where he was losing time, he started skimming him every lap. Yeah. And then he passed and gapped him, and that was the race. And then but I don't know. You say the goat knows. The goat knows how to be up front. And it's funny too. They did the pit board thing last week where they were like, what do you like on your pit board? He's like, I like the guy in second and third's lap times. And I started laughing because I'm like, well, yeah, you're always in the lead, Ricky. What do you tell the guy in fifth? You've never been in fifth. You've never been a fifth place guy. So he doesn't understand a lot of the different nuances in the back of the pack, but he does know 1 and 2, and he knows a very good strategy there. And so Yeah, I think
that's how his racecraft is. That's how he's learned how to race and how he can control the race when he knows what's going on behind him.
Well,
if
yeah,
he needs to go faster, or the guys behind him are going well slower, and he doesn't have to take as much chances. You know,
no, but that's, I mean, racecraft is pretty simple if you're always in 1, 2, or 3. I'm talking about mid pack, and Ricky's never had to deal with it. He's too good. Maybe his rookie season, but that was about it. So,
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, he's the GOAT. What can you say? And then RJ Hampshire got on the podium. I'm glad for that kid.
Yeah, he didn't have a great night, and he really squeaked into that podium.
That track was just so nasty. I mean, I'm just glad to see RJ not come out with another concussion. Honestly, that's where I'm at with this guy. He's a good kid.
Do they go to St. Louis next weekend, or do they go to
Seattle? Going to Seattle. These guys all get a week off and rest up, or go race 450, whatever they want to do. But it's Seattle next week. Yeah.
Does it go Seattle then a break, or?
I don't have it right in front of me, but I believe it goes Seattle, and then yeah, you're right. It is, well, I think the break's on Easter. Yeah, I'd have to check the schedule. I'm sure somebody will let us know in the comments section. Pierce Brown, dude, to come back and get fourth. That was an all-timer right there. That shows a lot of courage.
Yeah.
If his belt wasn't wrong.
If you paid attention to him in the LCQ where he started and how he rode that race, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, he rode smart. Yeah, he's a good racer. Mitchell Oldenburg, he looked good all day long too. The way he was riding in practice, he was one of the first dudes to hit those quads and stuff. I thought for sure he was going to be battling for a podium, and I'm surprised he wasn't.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't been on the podium, and I don't know if it's the bike.
It's not the bike, because Vince put it on the podium.
Who?
Freezy.
Yeah.
That thing looks fast. I mean, and then Lopes, Chisholm got a 7th. Pretty good for Chiz, yeah.
Right. I mean, but you know, they're different riders. You know, Freezy's only ridden Honda his whole life, his whole career. It seems like a pro career, at least.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. It's I don't know. He's definitely has the talent, and he's been in the class a long time. You know, so I think you are correct when you say you expect, you know, for him to be on the box.
Yeah. And he still may get up on the box, but now they're getting pretty tight on that series. I mean, they still got 2 East-West shootouts to go, and those are going to be tough. And that's why I would advise Stank Dog, just jump on that 250 and get your
that's gonna be a good race with Craig and Jett on.
Right. Yeah. And you know, both of them have a pretty cushy point lead. So Jett's looking at 11 points. Christian's got a giant one. So let's see. Anyone else?
That's going to be the big dick contest. Dude has the bigger dick.
Well, and
bragging rights.
2 guys looking to go 450 next year. You definitely want bragging rights head to head, right?
So you think Jett's riding 250, 450 next year?
Yeah, he'll be on that bike next year. I would bet you a lot of money that he'll be on. He's in Roxon's spot next to Chase.
That's the first time a 19-year-old kid would be on a 450 in a long time. Probably since Kenny.
Yeah. They kind of, once the 2-strokes went away, they stopped moving guys up as fast, right?
Yeah.
Because back in the day, I mean, Bradshaw, all those guys, they all moved up quick. But we kind of went away from it. But then again, it's also how the 250 class is developed into a class that really paid. So you could make more money and get more rides in the 250 class. That's when people stop moving up, I think. Because when Bradshaw and those guys are in the 250s, there wasn't a bunch of satellite teams you could go jump on.
Yeah.
So, anyone else catch your eye in the 250 class?
250 class.
We had Enzo Lopes.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty amazing that Phil didn't make the main, and that dude on the Cowie, freaking Phil blocked him, hit him in the corner, smashed him, and the guy came back and gave Phil a taste of his own medicine, and on the last lap, and Phil didn't qualify.
That was Hunter Yoder. That was the same guy that hit Jett. Hunter Yoder's no joke, man. This kid's out there. It's kill or be killed, and he's willing to kill. Yeah, I did kind of feel bad for Nicoletti because he's a guy that's supposed to be in the main, but at the same time, I was kind of pumped for Yoder. That's a good deal.
I don't think, what kind of bike was he on? The guy was on a Cowie.
Yeah, wasn't that Yoder?
I don't know.
Yoder
I could have
sworn
Cowie. I thought he rode a Honda.
He's listed on a Honda, but I swear he was on a Cowie. Oh, you're right. You're right. I stand corrected. I meant Hardy Munoz. Hardy Munoz is on the Cowie. Hardy Munoz ended up 14th on the night too, after running into Phil and getting past Phil. You are correct, my friend.
Yeah.
We'll mark that
Phil
down.
Hates Supercross too, man. Calls it Death Cross.
Well, I don't necessarily disagree most of the time, and it's gnarly, man. That's a hard way to make an easy living. I'll give you that.
Yeah. I think he's only doing it so he can ride outdoors.
I hope he's on a 450 outdoor.
Oh yeah, he will be for sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll pretty much cover it for tonight. Unless there's anything else you want to get off your chest, Kenny.
No, man. I think it was definitely a cool race. I'm definitely into it. It's been exciting. If this isn't getting your blood pressure up watching it, you might as well go check out cricket or something.
Well, you're not paying attention if it's not getting your blood pressure up.
Oh yeah. You don't even have to be into racing, and you could watch it and be in, get excited, So.
Yeah, for sure. So,
but yeah, I think it's cool, and the guys that are up front are riding really well, and no one's getting something that they don't deserve. That's for sure.
Yeah,
so,
and
yeah,
you know what?
I think it's all good.
Okay, all right, brother. And how are you feeling these days?
It's okay. I'm having good days, bad days, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Keep trucking.
Keep going, man. Got to keep going.
For sure. All right, Kenny. Well, hey, I want to say thank you for filling in for Coach Rob.
Yeah, no problem.
Coach Rob is in Costa Rica right now, goofing off. And when he gets back in the country, hopefully we can pin him down for a show.
Good for him.
If you want to find him, go to CompleteRacingSolutions.com. That's where he has his energy fuel on sale. That's where he can get his monthly programs. And it's funny, people spend all these money on trainers and stuff. Just go have Coach check your numbers and dial you up a program. And if you just do it, have a little self-discipline, he'll have you in good shape. That's it. And he won't overtrain you. He won't undertrain you. He'll train you just the right amount. So
there you go.
Awesome, guys. Well, thanks for listening. And we'll catch you later, Kenny.
Okay, Chris. Have a good weekend, buddy.
All right, later.